Welcome back everybody to another video. In this video I'm going to give you guys my input and take on the Niles SW8 1200 watts subwoofer, if it's any good. Now that's going to be 300 watts driven, so that's probably RMS watts, and the peak power will be 1200 watts. And I'm gonna compare this with the Klipsch R12SW and the Klipsch 115SW, just so we can get a reference, because those Klipsch subwoofers is so popular and reviews are so many reviews that are good about it. So a lot of people either own it or know about it or how it sounds, and that's why I'm gonna use those as a reference. And it's not really what's best, but just as a reference, because I own the R12 and the 115s. Now with the Klipsch R12s, that's gonna be like 240 watts RMS, I believe, and the peak power for that is 400 watts. For the R115SW Klipsch, that's gonna be 400 RMS watts, and the peak power performance for that one is at 800 watts. And now the prices, it's not gonna really matter. It's just as far as a comparison and a reference. So I wanted something that is deep tone, because in my living room currently I'm running the Valentine CHT 12-inch and the Valentine VRP 8-inch out there in the living room, and those produce really deep tones. And my R12s SW, now obviously with the Klipsch lineup with the speakers and the subwoofers, I understand why people love them, because you get a lot for the money. You get the bang for your buck, and their speaker lineup is amazing, and the subwoofer is amazing, because particularly with the R12 SW, you get a lot of bass for something that's light. Now with that R115 SW, that thing is a beast. Is so freaking powerful. So if you're wondering whether to buy the R12 SW or the R115, get the R115. It's worth the upgrade. Now R12s, it's perfect if you want to run an R12. If you live in an apartment, that thing is perfect. But if you live in an apartment, the R115 is going to be too powerful for that apartment. Just want to put that out there. Now I'm trying to run a little small theater room, and the R12s, as good as it is, the bass, even though it has deep tone, it's not as deep as I would like it to be. So I decided to replace that with something that's a deeper tone. And I was looking for a couple of days, and I've never heard of this Niles brand, so I'm assuming it's a no-name brand. The first thing that caught my eye was that it's 1200 watts. So I took a chance on it, because I have purchased things before or paid for things, and I didn't get nothing in return. Like, I didn't get the product. Long story short, so I figure, why don't I just take a chance on this, and give it a shot, because it's at 1200 watts, and where are you gonna get 1200 watts for under like $750, right? I'm pretty sure it's on sale, because I got this on sale, so that's another reason why I bought it. So I hooked this up to my Arcam AVR 390 and did all my vigorous tests. I blast it as much as I can, and it seems to not bust. It seems to be durable, and and as far as like your range from your hertz, it seems like the manual hertz, the dial, it doesn't really matter where you turn it. It still produces the deep tone. So even if you turn it up to like 150 or LFE, or in this case is bypass, you still get the deep tone. Now for other subwoofers, when you turn down the hertz manually on your subwoofer, the lower the hertz, the deeper tone you get, and the more vibration. And this one, for this Niles, it's doesn't matter really where you set it. In fact, it's probably best to set it in the middle, which is 100 watts. But it seemed like it doesn't really matter where you set it. You still get that deep tone. Now, obviously, you're gonna need a AVR that can produce enough watts to push it. So as long as you have that, you're gonna have no problems with this subwoofer. I might come back in the future to see the durability of this subwoofer, but as far as I can tell from my experience here, it seemed like it's gonna hold up. And the most important thing is I do get the deep tone. Now, as far as the Klipsch reference line the R12s, even the R15s. So the R12s, as deep and good as that subwoofer, it's not powerful enough for what I run for by itself. That subwoofer is great if you're running dual subs, but by itself, I would not run that by itself because it won't produce a deeper tone. Even though it's got a lot of good reviews that R12s is a deep tone, it is, but it's not as deep as I would like. And the R115s, that subwoofer is a monster. But even though that subwoofer is a beast, when you turn it down to like the 40 hertz to get that deep tone, it still doesn't produce the deep tone that I'm looking for. And one of the tests that I do is in Batman Begins, where the scene, track 5, the scene where Liam Neeson and Christian Bale, when they throw the ninja powder down and it makes the little thump. Now, the first thump would be where Liam Neeson throws down a powder. That's not the thump I'm talking about. It's the second thump where Christian Bale, aka Batman, when he throws that ninja powder down and it makes that deep thump. That's the test that I do to know how to set my subwoofer for that deep tone. And in the future, I might even use that as a reference. But that is what I'm looking for, and I don't really get that with my Klipsch R12s or my Klipsch R115s. But I do get that with this Niles SW8, and that is what I'm looking for. So I'm very satisfied with my purchase. When I first opened this box, it got smaller and smaller because that is a compact 8-inch subwoofer, and I was worried at first, how can something so little produce so much power? And I hooked it up and gave it a whirl, and it pretty much passed all my tests that I've done, and it sounds great. Now, the only thing I can say about this is that if they made this in like a 15-inch or 12 inches, that is going to give me the power that I actually need for the deep tone. As deep and as deep as the tone that this 8-inch is, um, and it'll even vibrate in certain frequencies. It would better serve us if they made a bigger size. So that is the only caveat I have with this subwoofer. Now, as long as it's durable and lasts for months and years, and like I said, I might come back in like half a year from now and to tell you and make a quick video to see if it does still hold up and if it doesn't haven't bust yet. But as far as my rigorous tests, that I blasted that subwoofer and I blasted my my hertz on the or my level of dBs on my AVR, and so far it hasn't bust and it still sounds good. So wrap it up here real quick. I do recommend this Niles 1200 watt subwoofer. It is, if you want a deep tone, this is pretty good for the price, and it's on sale right now for like half off. So if you're interested in the spec, just look it up. And like I said, I'm happy about my purchase. It is amazing. And thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Hooded Dragons out.